Hello, air signs. Welcome to the Manjula Awakening. So today I just wanted to do an energy check-in for the air elements. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I encourage Gemini and Libra to go check out the earth sign reading, as I kept Gemini was the first card out and Libra was the last card out. All right. Spirit, this is for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, Venus, South Node as well. Spirit, can you please show me what is the most important messages deemed by Spirit at this time for air signs? Asked wonderfully, received graciously. A light grows brighter only by lighting another. And then consciously we have soul, giraffe. Ooh. So consciously, Spirit is asking you to take active steps with a perspective from high above. Nothing less. It says cut away what is no longer needed. There is something that has been stunning your perspective, and it's time to cut that away, because the universe is willing to accept nothing less than high perspective, clear perspective from you. They expect giraffe eyesight from you at this time. Consciously, that's what you need to be striving towards actively, because you have asked for something. You have asked for something, and it's like the way that you manifested and put this out into the universe, the universe was like, damn, how do I not give this to you? And so now it's coming in. It's coming in. So you have to receive this graciously. And I can't remember, I don't know, maybe air signs should watch all the readings, but I can't remember if this grace came in as how to address a challenge for Sagittarius, or for the water signs. I think it was the fire signs, but check them all out. I can't remember, guys. Anyways, let's go into the message. Spirit, take me back. So it's finally coming in, and you're being asked to receive it graciously, like go with the flow, like the highs and the low. Like, don't count yourself out just because you can't see the full journey forward right now. Now, subconsciously, it's like that you have to, I think it was the fire sign that I feel like you should watch, but I feel like that there's this energy of knowing subconsciously that you have, you have this energy of trying to drag the underdog along. Sometimes the underdog is the underdog because they want to be, because they know that there's somebody like you that's going to come along and do the work for them. So being the underdog is the scheme of things. So I feel as if Spirit, it's like that you're meant to put sparks under people, but it's like, I'm done doing that, because I've been giving the wrong, I've been putting spark and I've been putting into people, and all they do is turn around and burn me, or this, that, and the third. Well, come on. We all know that there's this energy of you cherry picking where you putting your spark at, and you truly don't get to do that. So cut away what no longer serves you and do something different. All right, Spirit, what is the situation here for the air signs? It's like you gotta do the right thing in order to you gotta cut off the right thing. You gotta speak the right truth, because to cut something off is with scissors, swords. That is air. So there is something that is not being said that is causing you to die in section by section, because you're afraid to prune because in order to prune, you have to speak your truth. And so you have just become accustomed to not speaking your truth in a situation. And the divine is saying, no, 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 no. If you speak your truth and you cut this off, then there's an aspect of you that gets to bloom in an unimaginable way, but also the person that you may be protecting, person, place, or thing that you may be protecting, gets an opportunity to bloom in a whole nother perspective as well. So let's see, Spirit, what is this? What's the situation for the air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Celebration, joy. Yep, joy, guys. Discipline. Celebration. Oh. Oops. Something is done. Is because here's despair. It's like, oh. Something is done, and I feel as if so there's some type of celebration that you're being ushered in towards. I don't know. There's something. Yeah. Let's see, Spirit. What's the challenge here? Celebration. What's the challenge with the discipline, which was at the bottom of the deck? And here's despair. Purpose. Spirit was like, no, you're gonna keep going back. Yeah, air signs, you should probably watch these videos, because I feel like that this is saying that you're leaving something behind, and it's going to be a major change, and you may not understand it. Just because I see this married couple back here, but then I see someone else receiving the basket of fruit in the front. I feel as if your person, I feel like a connection is solidified, it's over by a union elsewhere. Okay. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. And I feel like that you have tried to process this and manage this situation by overindulging in, like, I don't know, like, I'm not going to say overindulgence, but I feel like that you've put in a lot of work. I feel like that you have put your pedal to the metal as far as work goes. And I feel like that the benefits is raining in, but it's more than you can handle, more than you can accept. So it's like, as it's coming in, you may get in this moment of disbelief, and you may begin to speak ill will over situations. And so it begins to burn out. The abundance train begins to lose fuel, and so it begins to burn out. And Spirit is, yeah, exactly. It says your words speak worlds. So Spirit is saying here, speak your truth and be authentic, and remember that you asked wonderfully. You asked for this, and I'm giving this, and the universe is saying, I'm giving it to you. This is for you. But you have to continue to speak your truth in me giving this to you. How does one overcome this? You don't get to have fun right now. Even though it's finally raining in, you don't get to be foolish or reckless with this, because you ask. This is one of those, like, oh, I spent my electric money on a brand new pair of shoes. God, if you get me out of this, I'll never do it again. Allah, if you get me out of this, I'll never. Whatever the case may be, I don't want to insult anyone's religion, is what I'm trying to say. But and it's like, the divine gave you more than what you asked for. So you spent $50 on a pair of shoes, and you got I don't know, 20 bands. And it's like, you better be disciplined with that, because you said that you'll never ask for anything again. So the divine knew that you were stepping outside of yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little cushion, because I'm not coming it's time for you to learn your lesson now. how to address this. Family. Wow, didn't expect that. Yeah, family, community here. I feel like you have to shout. I feel like that you're expected to. You have to. You have to share. That seems so simple, but it's a struggle for somebody. Because somebody wants to become self-indulgent here with what is about to come in. So let's jump into it. How is the collective showing up here, Spirit? This is these cards fail. This is your commitment is being tested, and hold your vision. Absolutely, you better be ready to keep your word. You made a deal. You didn't make a deal with an earthly being. You didn't make a deal with an earthly being. You can't go back and say, ooh, but I meant this. Ooh. Okay. So we have the Eight of Cups. So this is one of those situations where it was like, if you get me out of this, I'll leave it behind. You better leave it behind. You better leave it behind. Something to do with emotional baggage. Emotional attachment to money. Air sign, if you've made a deal to get out of a situation, and I'm not talking about a deal. I mean, this could be a deal with somebody that walks this earth, but I really do feel like that somebody begged God or their divine to get them out of a situation, and they would leave something behind. Where they're getting out of this situation, and it's like, I'm gonna get you out of the situation, and I'm gonna get you out of the situation plus some. Now, what are you gonna do with the plus some that I give to you? Because that matters. Who are you gonna look out for with this plus some? Because it was selfish. It was something selfish that got you into the situation in the first place. So if the divine is giving you some plus some, you better turn inward to your family, friends, lovers, whoever this is. It was community at the bottom of his deck. And I don't feel like that somebody, there's an earth sign that is not actively looking at things from a higher perspective. And there's some, let's go forward with Spirit. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You have to leave something behind. So we have the Four of Swords, the Four of Cups, Justice, and the Nine of Swords. That's more than any sign element has gotten all day. And then we have Temperance at the bottom of the deck. So there's a need to temper yourself emotionally. Make sure that you're not being tempted by, I feel like that this is saying that you have to stay focused on justice, on balancing things out, on doing what's right, even when you begin to talk yourself out of it, because there's this fear and anxiety here. There's definitely this energy of walking away and leaving something behind, and then you go through this Four of Swords energy, which is this resting and rejuvenating. That's the challenge, though. You walk away from something. You do not get to walk right into something else. There has to be, we just went through COVID, so let's call it a quarantine period. But this quarantine right here is to unlearn the survival techniques that this Eight of Cups right here required from you. Because this is holding you back, air signs. You're not willing to sit still enough to process the new you without the baggage of this Eight of Cups. You have to there's a drying period. With this Four of Cups here, it's like, I'm tired of looking at the emotional aspect of this. Can we get on with it already, is what I'm feeling like. I'm bored here. I don't want to go back here. I don't want to talk about this. I just want to move forward. I understand that, but like, buddy, like, this is 4 heavy ass cups that you're trying to justify carrying along with you. And like, dude, everybody that looks at you sees that. It's time to process this. Like, you can't ignore this anymore. You have to address this and release this. You must. That is karmic, like, that's justice. Like, that's how the universe is deciding to balance this situation out, so that you can begin to face your fears and your anxieties, so you can begin to look and see, so that you can stop running from the confounds of addressing the way that your mind works. This has to be compartmentalized. This has to be cleaned up. You see, for me, people call me crazy because of tarot. People call me a witch or whatever the case because of tarot, and I don't even read cards like most tarot readers do. But I enjoy all elements of all aspects of the way that people read tarot. I watch it all. But anyways, but I've been called crazy all my life, and it's one of those, like, it hurt my feelings. It offended me. And when I would, when I got older and people would be trying to stab at me, they would call me that magical word bipolar. Now, that's funny to me because they labeled me that at 9 years old. Technically, you can't label anyone that is less than a teenager with that diagnosis. But anyways, and I had a foster mother who moved mountains to get me off of medicine at the age of 16, and I've not been on medicine for that bogus diagnosis since the age of 16. However, what I was able to accept, because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck it. I'm not gonna mess this up. I got somebody that believes in me for not needing to be medicated to process my mentals. So it became a priority for me to compartmentalize the thoughts that flowed through my mind, that kept me in this element of angst. And so this is telling me that the universe is not letting you gain access to anyone until this is balanced out. Because this is so this needs to be balanced out for the universe. That's the advice. This has to be addressed. It's bleeding too much. It's affecting too much externally at this point. It's not just something that is affecting you. And the universe is giving you the tools that you need, but it's just a matter of you viewing things from a different perspective, actively viewing things from a different perspective, and remaining disciplined and remembering what you're doing this, why you're doing this, and what you're what you're doing this for. Alrighty, guys. Well, let me get this one message here, and then I'm gonna get out of here. It says, slow down. To avoid burnout, don't do too much too fast. Going slower lets you appreciate the miracle of the moment and the richness of your life. Practicing self-soothing. You have the power to comfort yourself when you are upset. Place your hand gently over your heart. Send yourself unconditional love to ease tension and frustration. Guys, I pray that these messages provided you with guidance on your journey. If these messages did resonate, we would absolutely appreciate a thumbs up down below. It would help get these messages out to other people in need. And in all that we do and in all that we say, moving forward, let's choose peace. Love and light, guys.